Massive season for Jadon Sancho at Manchester United. He's still just 23. I think a lot of people probably forget that. He gets a bit of stick, doesn't he? But he's come over from the Bundesliga. For some people, it works. Look at Haaland, look at De Bruyne. They're seamless in terms of the talent distribution. But for someone like Kai Havertz, Werner, it hasn't quite worked. We saw that he has got what it takes in the Bundesliga. He's not really found consistency, any level of consistency during his time at Man United. Came for, 74, 75 million? And he's just not done much. Same with Martial. Martial's been there for 5-6 years or something. 9 Premier League goals in the last 3 years. Not great, not prolific, not what you want for 50-60 million pounds. The standard is higher, the defenders are better, and I think someone like Jadon Sancho probably proves that, because he's a tricky winger. Maybe he's just not found the confidence, he can't get on the ball, the system doesn't suit him. But after a while, you can't keep blaming these things, you can't keep saying stuff like that. After 2-3 years at a club, if you've not been able to make it work for that player, it's either because the manager doesn't like him or he's not good enough, right? Because you try and you adapt and you play different ways. Man United played a 4-3-3 anyway, left winger, right winger. It is the system for Sancho. It's what he was bought for. They just need that killer forward though, don't they? And I think they need someone as well in the midfield that can potentially unlock a midfield. Casemiro is great at what he does. Bruno Fernandes is great at what he does. Mason Mount might be a very good investment in that Man United team if he can just sort of dictate the tempo of a game. I think they've been missing somebody who can do that really since Scholes and Carrick, those players just getting on the ball, taking control of a game. Under Ten Hag, they have had more control. Ten Hag is all about control. Every moment of the game he wants control. But they do need that midfielder, and maybe Mason Mount, maybe that's what he sees in him. I think that's potentially what could happen. He'll turn him into a deeper midfield player. We've see it at the minute, to be honest, with Angel Gomez for the England under-21s. They won the tournament and he played as a sort of CDM, just dictating the game, getting the ball. He's press resistant, as is Mason Mount. So I think that's where we'll see it. At first, when they signed Mason Mount, I thought he would get in Bruno Fernandes' way a lot, but it's not going to be the case, actually. The more I think about it, I think they can play as a midfield three: Casemiro, Mount and Bruno Fernandes. I think there'll be moments whilst Mount's still getting used to his role where Casemiro is just left on his own. I think there'll be games where they will not play that midfield. And for that reason, I think they still do need to go and sign someone like Amrabat, who's been rumoured, would be a fantastic signing. We all remember him from his World Cup heroics. He was absolutely sensational. And if you look at the data, I'll just put a few screens up here now. This is comparing him with Premier League players. Premier League players that play in midfield, similar positions, similar roles. And you can see, he's pretty decent. And especially compared to Eriksen, which is the sort of midfielder that I think he will replace. In the system that we saw last year, Eriksen just did not do enough. And I think Eriksen, his role at Man United, I think he's going to go down the pecking order. He might be okay with that. He might be all right to just start some games, come on. And, as a player, bringing on, if you're 2-0 up, bringing on someone like Eriksen is a very good option to have to try and just control the game, add a bit of creativity off the bench. But yeah, I think they do need someone like Amrabat to come in, because you're going to get a suspension to Casemiro as well. I think that's guaranteed after the way he's played. I don't think he's changed his game. I just think the refereeing is different